They provide risk management programs to livestock producers all throughout the West. Whether you are concerned about weather or price risk, AgRisk Advisors, they are here to help. With current day market fluctuations, there is nothing more important than locking in a price floor on your cattle. So if you would like to learn more about an LRP, go ahead and reach out to an advisor today. Also sponsored by American Beef Producer Magazine. They offer in-depth articles about a wide variety of topics within our industry. They feature award-winning photography and so much more within their publication. For some reason, if you are not already subscribed to ABP Magazine, go ahead and head on over to their website, abpmag.com. On their main page, up in the right-hand corner, you will find a large subscribe button. All you got to do is click on that, and they will get you all fixed up. According to Reuters, an increase in COVID-19 infections among meatpacking workers is causing meat plants to slow production and the government to replace USDA inspectors. According to Cargill spokesman Daniel Sullivan, the meat giant operated numerous plants last week at a slower pace due to a shortage of workers. The biggest concern with this situation is a sustained period of slower chain speeds that could possibly lead to even higher meat prices than we are already seeing today. Last Friday, according to USDA, packers killed 112,000 head of cattle, which was down 6% from the same day a year ago. This decreased kill is the lowest that we have seen since October. USDA meatpacking inspectors are increasingly coming down with COVID, said Paula Schelling-Soldner, chair of the National Joint Council of Food Inspection Locals. Last week, the USDA shifted inspectors to an American Foods Group beef plant in Green Bay, Wisconsin, allowing slaughter to continue while the plant was short-staffed due to COVID. It has been observed that an uptick in COVID-19 infections are occurring at plants that pushed the vaccine last spring but have not pushed the booster. According to drovers, despite astronomical inflation, domestic retail meat sales remain robust, according to Anne-Marie Rorick with 210 Analytics. The cards have been stacked against retail red meat and poultry sales with supply chain disruptions, high inflation, and increasing COVID-19 infections. Total 2021 meat sales were basically flat compared to 2020 sales that we saw. But when we compare those 2021 numbers to pre-pandemic normal numbers that we saw in 2019, sales averaged anywhere between 17 to 20% above typical levels. We all remember the big increase of ground meat sales that we saw in 2020. Well, that trickled into 2021. Data from 210 Analytics shows ground beef sales generated $11.3 billion in 2021, nearly 86% of all grind dollars. Consumers were surveyed about the effects of inflation at the meat counter. The survey discovered that 43% of shoppers consider prices to be only a little bit higher. Apparently, they are not paying attention. 48% of shoppers consider prices to be a lot higher. And of all those that were surveyed, 94% are currently concerned about the inflation situation that we are seeing at the meat counter, as they should be. The Capitol Press has reported that Cody Easterday of Easterday Farms has been given another 6 months of freedom before he will be sentenced for conning Tyson Foods out of more than $200 million in a ghost cattle scheme. Easterday's new sentencing date is June 13th. Back on March 31st, Easterday pled guilty to one count of wire fraud after screwing Tyson out of $233 million. So as we can all remember, the ghost cattle scheme consisted of Easter billing Tyson for cattle that never existed. And he did this to the extent, as I just said, of screwing Tyson out of $233 million. Quite a feat. The extra 6 months of freedom that Easterday will have will be more time for him to sort out the bankruptcy dilemma that he has on his hands. Many are referring to this as a complete mess. That is all I have for news for you guys this morning. But I am going to read you an excerpt out of a column out of Tri-State Livestock News, The Outside Circle. It is written by Jan Swan Wood. Every week she has a piece in there and she does a great job. Anyways, what she wrote hits home with all of us, and I think it would be just some good words to start off your Wednesday. As we go into this new lap around the sun, I hope that some balance can return to our lives. I'm tired of seeing our country torn into divisions by people who reap the profit off of that very division. The evil entities pulling the strings and operating the sock puppets who are allegedly in charge of decisions are just that, evil. Satan is walking amongst us and reveling in the discord, hatred, sadness, fear, and unrest that has besieged our nation. Some can see him for who he is. Others follow him as if he is handing out candy. This would be a good time to examine which group you are in. When I say pray for our nation, I mean that earnestly. Lift this country up over and over again. Pray for the leadership to humble themselves and return to the principles that our nation was founded on, which are found in the pages of the Bible. Please, Lord, God bless America again. I hope you all have a wonderful Wednesday.